Wasn't all bad down in South Louisiana over the weekend. The Saints go up to the capital city, and they win a 33-22 game against the football team. Saints get to the bye week at 3-2. I thought the story of this game, obviously you've got a Hail Mary, which was of note. You've got a couple of missed extra points from Cody Parkey. I have no idea how that guy still has a job in the NFL after what he did in Chicago a couple of years ago. But to me, when I looked at it, I thought that Marcus Lattimore's job on Terry McLaurin was awesome. It's not the first time we've seen him do this, but the way that the Saints, generally speaking, play against the run, when you take away that top option on the outside, it makes things difficult. And Washington, I didn't think could keep up because of the job that Lattimore did. To me, that was my biggest takeaway from the game. You?
Yeah, my biggest takeaway was Sean Payton continuing to trust Jameis to throw the ball down the field. That was something that the offense really have lacked with the Drew Brees, especially the back end of that era. Just hand the ball off 23 times, and then you try to let Jameis, throw it deep. He's only at 50% completing his passes right now, but you go 4 touchdowns in a game on the road. That's tough to do, and the defense played lights out. You hold Heineke to no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That's what you need, and that's what the Saints needed, especially going into a bye week, so they can kind of get a little more healthy and really, try to make a run through for the season.
Paulson Adebo proven to be, no fluke, no preseason fluke. I mean, we were kind of waiting for Marquez Callaway to show up, and obviously he gets a couple touchdowns, including the Hail Mary. But Adebo's been, game to game has been really, really good. They went at him a little bit, but he's showing up, and it looks like they've got a hit there.
Yeah, that's a big hit for them. And I think Pete Werner played sensational as well. 13 tackles in the game, led the team in tackles. And that's you're hitting on your picks, and that's what you need to do. And I think that was for me what the Saints needed. You knew their secondary. You lose Janoris Jenkins, you lose some of the guys they lost, so you figured they would have to have some depth on the outside, and they've seen have answered that with Adebo. He's playing extremely well for a rookie, and especially the toughest position to me to come in and play great at, and that's corner on the outside by yourself, and he's doing a good job.
You mentioned Jameis taking some deep shots. I thought the touchdown to Deontay Harris was a great design. They got him on that post route, and you don't think of, guys that height being the deep threat. You usually want a little bit more size than that, I think. I mean, obviously Ted Ginn's done it, but Deshaun Jackson, not a huge guy. He made a living doing that for more than a decade in the NFL. If that's what you can do, then make it happen. Clearly they can get him the ball around the line of scrimmage, but he has been able to run by the secondary on multiple occasions and make huge plays, and obviously did that on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, that's what you need. A guy who can take the top off of a defense, really not let you stuff the boxes. I know that's what they want to do with Taysom Hill in the run game, with Alvin Kamara in the run game. They want to find those guys, and they want to dink and dunk a little bit, just hit Kamara on those quick screen passes. That's great. That'll move the sticks, but at some point you got to take the top off, and that's what Harris can do. Just a phenomenal receiver. Callaway can do the same. 2 guys that we heard a ton about in camp, and you're starting to see them make their plays. And so that's huge for them to gain the world of confidence that they would need, because you'll be getting Michael Thomas back soon, and you'll really start feeling good about this receiving core for the Saints.
So they get Kamara involved, 16 carries, 71 yards. He ran it for 4.5, which is good enough, and it wasn't as long as 23. It wasn't like he was – but against that defensive front, you got to keep them honest so they can't pin their ears back and come after you. The Saints committed to the run game, only 2 sacks on Jameis for the entire game. He was able to stand back there and make some plays again. Not the most accurate day at times. He missed some fires, but he made the plays when he had to. And again, Washington's defense proves that it's just has not been that good this year. The Saints put up 33 more points.
Yeah, that's a shocker for me. You got so much depth on that defensive line room, so many first-round picks. So many guys you feel like are perennial Pro Bowl guys.
They're all first-round picks.
Yeah.
The whole unit.
Yeah, it's nuts. So you would think that they'd be just getting after the passer like no one's business, but their secondary has not played well. Landon Collins has not played well this year, and that's what you're seeing. Teams are scheming them up and getting their guys in the secondary and compromising positions, and other opponents are taking full advantage of that. So obviously when a team goes 7-9 and wins their division, you can't really be feeling like they're world beaters, and you're starting to see them kind of pick up where they left off last year.
So how should the Saints feel about being 3-2 at the bye? Clearly, you factor in the amount of injuries they've had. Armstead goes down. You don't have Thomas. You lose your backup running back as well, obviously. Your center goes down. Look on the defensive side. Passanio missed a little bit of time early. You're without Onyemata, who's been suspended. You got some injuries in the linebacking core with Quan, but you're 3-2. You have one that you feel like maybe you let get away with the Giants coming in and beating you. But how does 3-2 sound at the break?
You got to be a little more greedy than that. 4-1 sounds a lot better.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
wanna-
I kind of agree. I mean, the narrative is that they're in a really good spot. I think, and I understand the injuries, but God, this schedule gets to be so brutal to the back end. And when you let one slip away like you did against the Giants, I have a hard time saying that they're just in this great spot. They're okay. They survived it.
Yeah, with Tampa Bay playing the way they are, you got to be 4-1 right now. You can't slip up. You can't let Danny Dimes come into the Superdome and find a way to win that game. That's just a tough one for the Saints to lose. But at the same time, it's not the end of the world. It could be 2-3 right now, but you're not. You're 3-2, and you're getting a ton of guys back, especially after the bye week. So they don't feel amazing, but they should definitely feel good about themselves.
I didn't even mention Will Lutz being out. Obviously, I mentioned that Parkey's out there missing extra points, but Lutz coming back I think will help as well. Although he's a little bit shaky the last couple of years, he's been the best kicker the Saints have had in quite some time. So I think that's obviously another one that they can get back. It's just a matter of can you saddle up and stay healthy and beat some of these really good teams on your schedule. There's reason to believe you can because the Packers have played very well for since that game against